Well, good evening, Sarah. And I think hopefully you'll show up. If not, we've got this recording here for you, and you can review it at your convenience. Just let me know when you have. So welcome to the class. This is the class kickoff for BSA 570 Global Marketing Management. Exciting course. And you've already had a prerequisite to that, which we'll go through all of this in just a moment. So let me see if I can I can share the screen and pull up the PowerPoint I've got prepared here. All right, I think here it is. It won't be long before you will be graduating, which is a good thing. And tonight's agenda is, first of all, welcome. So we've kind of done that, the classroom review of the syllabus and other things. And then, of course, the resources review, the Averett Library, and so forth. The course description here is we should always take note of it because from the course description are the learning outcomes, and that's essentially what you will ultimately learn in the course. So it examines the major marketing issues and opportunities facing companies who market products and services outside their domestic borders, and that could be even to Mexico and Canada. And a lot happens when you go beyond the border of your own country, the United States, into other cultures, societies, and governments that you need to take note of as you market your product. So you'll gain knowledge in the theories and strategies and influences that drive marketing in foreign environments, as well as analytical tools in practicing global marketing strategies. So we'll concentrate on the strategic decision companies make about the 4 Ps: product, price, place, and promotion in international markets. And students who acquire knowledge on global marketing environment development of competitive strategy, global marketing strategy, development, and managing global operations. So this encompasses all that goes on internationally on global marketing management. And if the prerequisite, of course, is earning a C or above in BSA 529, and I am assuming that since you were in this course, you have done that. So the syllabus is in the classroom. This is just the first week. You could pull this in when you open the classroom, and you'll see the syllabus and the activities that are required each week at the deadlines. The discussion boards are loaded for weeks 1 and 2, so you'll be able to work in those and work ahead, and the rest will be loaded shortly. The text materials are available at the Averett University bookstore if you haven't secured them already. And it's International Marketing, which is a good book, and it's one worth keeping for your business library. And it's by Katoria and Gilly. And of course, one of the most important websites you will have to access in your coursework, not just here, but all of your MBA coursework, is the Averett Library. And here it is to access the LibGuides for this particular portion of business in the library. And getting to know the library is very important, and being able to do research is very important, and it's a skill. The more you do it, the better you get. It doesn't take rocket science, it just takes determination. So class members ask them, we've asked them what is most interesting to you as you go into the class. And here are some things that you might find interesting that other class members have said, and you may be able to add to this list. But specific global marketing strategies is at the top of their list because they want to know how to take marketing strategy and make it international and be successful and competitive. International markets and social responsibility. Not all countries look at social responsibility the same way the United States does. Some take it more seriously, some do not. So that's something to look at country by country. Promotional concept, is it the same elsewhere as it is in the United States? Real world marketing situations. Since the world is interconnected in many ways, uh, marketing situations can be very fluid and they can take on an unexpected turn. For instance, the EU has fined Apple $2 billion for their music streaming services, and it was a suit brought by Spotify. They've now been ordered to pay $2 billion, that's with a B, billion dollars to the European Union. Will that spark other audits in other countries like the United States and so forth? And so what does that have to do with on Apple's marketing strategy? What will they do differently? How will they, based on the description of the fine, how will they change or alter their own streaming services to coincide with the ruling of the court, and so forth? Those have material effects on the company and their strategy and their marketing. So that's an example of what global marketing gets into. Branding as a part of marketing strategy implementation is very interesting. Companies like Nabisco, who have Oreo cream sandwiches, in this country, they're known as Oreo cream sandwiches, and they come in large packages and so forth. But in other countries where food storage is not as prevalent as in the United States, they come in much smaller packages. In other cases, Nabisco has partnered with a local brand in China and have adopted their name featuring their cookies. So and the packaging of the partner. So, but what's the result? The result is Oreo cream sandwiches are the most beloved and consumed cookie in the world. So that's the way companies can adapt. Branding as a part of marketing strategy implementation, that's very, very key. If you think about a brand is a promise. And the marketing strategy implementation in this country, people understand what a promise is. They understand what to expect out of the brand and when the brand delivers, they understand that. It's based upon a set of values that universally in the United States we understand and identify with. Well, those values may be universal to us, but they are not universal to every country in the world. And therefore, in order to get the same effect out of your brand in another country and culture, you must pay particular attention to that so that your brand is not diminished by some mistake that you make that is well received in the United States, but it's not well received because it takes on a different meaning, and that meaning can be negative. So you need to be very careful. For instance, the Ford Probe was a popular economy car for Ford in the turn of the century. And the problem is when you translated that into French, it meant something very different and against women. So that took on a real marketing challenge for Ford. Eventually, they just dropped the car altogether. Branding and effective communication, again, an extension of that. Your brand must communicate the values of the organization and the product that's being offered. And it makes a promise that it will resolve certain challenges that customers have. You know, Tide is an example of this, where it says tide's in, dirt's out. And it basically makes the promise, you use our product and we will make sure your clothes are clean. And as someone, say the mother in the family who is responsible for the cleanliness of their family's clothing, this is important because she's also making the purchase decisions as well. So if the brand is working, in other words, if Tide continues to remove dirt in a satisfactory manner as it is promised, not only will Tide be purchased, but Tide can also charge more for fulfilling that promise because of all of its quality control efforts that go into the product and the innovation that goes into the product. So that is a way to make above standard profits for Tide by having an understandable brand promise and by delivering on that promise consistently, year in, year out. My mother used Tide. Your mother probably knew about Tide, and there's someone in your family that still uses Tide. I'm certain. Combining real world marketing challenges with theoretical marketing strategies. Very important because a theoretical strategy is just that, but it creates a framework for decision making and confidence. And therefore, that could be very helpful because if you have to make your commitment, uh, and often a multi-thousand or $1 million commitment, you want to be sure as you can be. And by understanding the theoretical marketing theories and strategies behind the decision you're about to make, can drive that confidence to make you certain that this is the decision you want to make. The last is predicting consumer behavior. Boy, if you can figure that out, you've got a free ticket to everywhere. Consumer behavior, what they found out is not a straight line, logical progression of thoughts and decisions. It is all over the place, and you can get a decision out of a customer about your product at any place along the product purchase continuum. Digital marketing and omnichannel marketing have also splintered that into showrooming and net rooming for products. So they could purchase them, see them in one locale and purchase them in another, and so forth. So predicting where that customer is along the product purchase journey is a challenge, but it's a worthy challenge for marketers. So I guess we don't have any questions at the moment, but if you do, just call me and I'll be happy to respond and answer your questions. So good luck to you and in the class. I hope you find it interesting. And if you have any questions or challenges, just reach out and let me know. So until then, I'll see you in class.